Mikey Garcia is confident in his boy, Jose Ramirez, and likes his positioning. Says Devin Haney very well could be compromised after the Ryan Garcia fight. This video, I'm going to break down what was said from Mikey Garcia in a brand new interview where he spoke his truest thoughts with Fight Hub. He says, quote, "Everyone sleeps on Jose Ramirez. They don't see what we see. He's been training super hard. He's very motivated." Right? Haney is coming off a loss to Ryan Garcia. Who knows how he comes back after that loss? That's why we feel Ramirez is in a very good position to take this fight and win and come back to the top. Ramirez's experience, strength, and he's a heavy hitter also. And again, considering Haney's last fight, he got hurt multiple times in the fight by Ryan Garcia. It's been a little over a year. That inactivity and just how he lost, not everybody can come back from a loss like that and be 100%. Ramirez lost in December to Arnold Barbosa, but he didn't get beat up. He got outboxed, but he didn't get beat up, whereas Haney did. He got hurt, and I think that all helps Ramirez perform better. Now, it's pretty funny because I've been doing this for a while, as you guys know, and some people agree, some people disagree, but you got to admit, I'm the best in the business. The stuff I say sticks, and you hear professional fighters pretty much mirror what I've said after I've said it. So Mikey Garcia is not really saying much different than what I've told you guys regarding the timing of this fight. I think that is the most important, and the only reason people are curious about this fight is because Devin Haney's last fight. Now, you could take that as what you want, good or bad, but that's a reality here. I firmly believe if Devin came from the Regis Pro Grade performance straight into his next fight, he said, "I'm moving up and I'm fighting Jose Ramirez," same circumstance in New York, 144 catch weight. I made a video about the weight class. Then I don't think many people would be picking Jose Ramirez. However, boxing has always been and always will be a recency bias type of sport. And what have you done for me lately? You're only as good as your last performance. That's why I also like being a YouTuber, because over the years, it challenges you. You have to, I've seen so many YouTubers come and go. You have to adapt and evolve with the times. The YouTube algorithm constantly changing. The style of boxing content maybe changes for different reasons, this or that. So you gotta evolve or you become extinct like the dinosaurs. So I fancy that. And boxing is not much different. You're only as big as your last hit. Like, you look at even music. You look at a guy like Drake. People were rocking with Drake. You had a lot of people rocking with him and his music. But then after the Kendrick beef, it kind of had people split. And some people now aren't looking at Drake the same way as before the battle. And that's the damaging thing for rap battles. I've been in hip hop, so I've seen these waves. For example, Ja Rule. "It's murder, holla, holla. It ain't even a question how my dough flows. I'm good to these bad. It's easy. The people better have my money for show before they go running their mouth promoting how I be," right? Ja Rule, he was running the charts for a minute. He had a nice little run, but out of nowhere, 50 Cent, who has a personal beef, "Hey man, it's something special, man. You gotta do something, baby." Right? 50 came in, G-Unit came in, had a certain energy about him, and the rest is history. So Ja Rule kind of got pushed out, and that's kind of what happened with Drake. You know, we'll see how he bounces back, but at the end of the day, you're only as good as your last hit. And it got to a point in Ja Rule's career where 50 Cent, he was producing and dropping the hotter projects, and people kind of looked at Ja Rule as, you know, the singer or whatever, and it hurt his brand, and it's hard to bounce back. So I'm not saying that Devin Haney is Ja Rule for sure, but we gonna find out in his next few fights. And he's in a tight position because I don't really see the gain I don't really like the fight card. I've told you that. It's not that the fights are bad, it's that they don't really make sense for what you're trying to do. And I smell an upset happening somewhere on the card where someone either full on gets upset or they don't look up to par, or there's controversy, something like that. That's what I'm sensing from this triple header with Ryan, Devin, and Teofimo. So for me, being in the sport so long, I don't like to play these games. If you want to make Haney rematch with Ryan, you go straight into that. You don't put like complicated fights before a rematch and then just cross your fingers. It's just, to me, it don't make sense because boxing doesn't work like that. So it is what it is. They made the fight. Ramirez, he looks in shape. Devin looks in shape. Now, I will say this. You do have to give Devin Haney a lot of credit if he fights Ramirez and looks like Devin of old, because what he's dealing with from a mental perspective, he has a lot on his plate, a lot from the Ryan Garcia fight, the lawsuits. And if he's able to put that all together and push himself through this fight, then you got to give him credit. You simply got to give him credit, because mentally, that's a hard place to bounce back from. And that's pretty much what Mikey Garcia is saying as well, is who knows how Devin Haney's going to look given the circumstance. And I agree with that. I really think it's a shot in the dark, even for Devin Haney. I don't know if Devin Haney can truly say, because I know fighters. You could look great in sparring. You could feel great in the gym, and you're going on runs, and maybe you're running more miles than you've ever ran. You feel like you're in better shape. And in the given night, you get punched. It's like Mike Tyson, the quote that he has. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? So ultimately, we're going to see when the lights are shining, the cameras are rolling, the audience is there, you hear the oohs and the ahs in the crowd. And if Ramirez clips you and hits you with the big shot, how do you respond to that coming from the Ryan Garcia fight? So that is a lot to climb back from, in my opinion. And I think any Haney-act content creator, or even Devin Haney or his team himself, saying they know without any shadow of a doubt how Devin will respond to potential adversity in the ring, I want to say that's a lie. Because again, you could feel great, you could look in great shape. It's different when you're actually in there. Like, you have to be in the ring when it counts, not a sparring session or something, because at this level, when you're a Devin Haney, you kind of control the sparring. If somebody's getting the best of you, you could be like, oh, no more rounds, that's enough sparring for the day. That's what happens when you're an elite level fighter. If you're getting tagged up, then you're pretty much paying the sparring partners and stuff. You can orchestrate that. But in boxing, there are no timeouts. You can't just, if Jose Ramirez is getting the best of you, you're going to have to adapt and adjust on the fly. So can't wait to see what I'm going to see, whatever it's going to be. Again, I also think for Jose Ramirez, it's kind of a do or die fight for him. He hasn't looked good in several fights to me, and they keep saying he's back and he's rejuvenated. So it's going to be an interesting fight to watch, really, because of the timing, like I've said from the beginning. Let me know if you agree with Mikey Garcia that pretty much Devin Haney is ripe for the picking at this point, given everything that happened in his last fight. And I think a lot of it is based on his last fight. But as a game plan, you can't really go off of what somebody else did, because you're not Ryan Garcia, right? And people can get better and learn from their mistakes and things like that. So Jose Ramirez still gonna have to come with a great game plan himself. Let me know what you guys think. Use the link in the description for StreamYard to get your streams up to par. The link, my affiliate link, is in the description.